What's up, family? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, we've been on a heater, guys. I ain't gonna lie. 4 winning days in a row. It's not been too bad over here. We're gonna break it all down today. Can we keep the momentum going? I would love a perfect week. 5 straight winning days in a row. Can we wrap it up on this Friday, the April 4th? Let's find out. I've got 3 best bets on the way. Let's get into it. This is the free three.
I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13 seconds.
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
What is up, my friends? It is Friday, April the 4th, and it is your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm bringing down my favorite picks and plays in the day as we try to get to the bag together and make that money. Guys, it's been really good over here. I don't know about how you guys have been doing with your bankroll, but here on the channel, things have been going well. It hasn't been huge haymaker days. Yes, we had a few sweeps at the beginning of the week, but it's just the brick by brick, the few wins here, the few wins there, the no sweat bets that cashed in the first half, like Rudy Gobert's double-double. Like, guys, it's been going really good here. Hopefully, you've been making money. I appreciate everybody who's been tapping in. The stream numbers, I've been seeing those go up as well. So I do appreciate everybody who's been tapping in. My goal is to drop these videos every single weekday between 10 to 10:30. Like, if you don't see me at 10 o'clock, then it's typically going to be by about 10:30 that I'll hop on, and but my goal is 10 o'clock. Sometimes, like for me, I want to just make sure that I get the plays right. Sometimes because I've been doing the show for like 2 years now, like you'll get like put out plays real fast, and then it's not a play that you really wanted to take, but you just were trying to focus on getting a video out in time, and it's like, hey, for me, let's focus on just getting plays out, and let's win. And that's why some days, if I'm on the road or if I'm DJing, I don't even put out a video. Why? Because I don't want to force anything unless I find something later on in the day that I like. So that's why you got to follow us on Action. And speaking about Action, that's where all our plays are tracked, and you can see here, yesterday we had a 4-3 day, so not too bad, up $167. You guys can see over the last 7 days, up $600 over the last 30 days, up over $1,300. This is $100 units. We do not play 2-unit plays, 5-unit plays, 10-unit Mega Maxes, all just 1 unit, $100 plays. So I can kind of show you the consistency that we've been able to build up over here on the channel. The exact plays that we took yesterday, I do not think I did a screenshot today. So let me see if Action can pull it up real quick. But if not, we can kind of just move on past the recap. Yeah, I don't think they have the plays for yesterday. I know we did do, let's see, Brook Lopez over 1.5 3-pointers. We got that right. Rudy Gobert for the double-double. We got that right. The D-backs first 5 money line, we got that one wrong. So those were the 3 picks in the free 3. So like a 2-in-1 day. And then we added Luka's threes that missed with Franz points. Franz points hit. And then what else did we add? Chattanooga on the money line. Shout out to my mocks for getting it done there. Plus 155 on the money line. And then we also took them live plus 7.5 as well. So we got that one as well. So that led to the 4-3 day. That was how yesterday went. For today, let's dive into the video, guys. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate you guys as we're trying to get up to about 2,000 subs here. So I do appreciate you guys. Help us get to 2,000 subs. That's a kind of a low number, so we should be able to get there relatively easily. And we're going to go look at the NBA slate. I'm going to give you guys my best bet of the day, okay? And this is a guy that I texted my boy Ryan the other day, and I said, man, you got to look at this guy. He's been hooping, and we talked about him on the channel not too long ago. We're going to go to the Trailblazers and the Bulls game. You guys probably know who I'm talking about, and that is Mr. Deni Avdija, and we're going to go over on his rebound. Shout out to the Chattanooga Mocs. I see y'all in the chat. Shout out to Chattanooga Mocs. We got it done. That game was a sweat. Now, shout out. The boy blew that layup. I ain't gonna lie. He smoked that boy. That was a big spliff he smoked on that layup. But you know what? I ain't mad at it. Shout out to the Mocs. We get it done. And there was plenty of chances to get that at plus value or even better live. So Deni Avdija is a guy, guys, like, I mean, he's just been a straight green gob. This is what I call a green gob. gob for me, for my people. I know you guys are on Prize Picks, but this is my green gob. When they got green on Doing Sports here, 33 points, 32 points, 26 points, 36 points, 31 points. So you got to start moving with a little bit of a grain of salt because the line's going to keep improving, right? We're at 24.5. I remember 2 games ago it was at 22.5. So the line is continuously increasing. But one line that stayed relatively the same, that has not moved, that's not making sense to me, is the 8.5 rebound line. You can see he's had 8.5 rebounds. We took this 2 days ago against Atlanta, and he got 15. He got 15 again yesterday against Toronto, and he's averaging 10 rebounds over the last 10 games. He had 16 here against the Grizzlies, 11 here against the Celtics, 10 here against the Cavaliers. Now, I can understand why it's at 8.5 when you look at the Bulls defensively, and you could see rebounding against the power forward position. They haven't allowed anybody to get this number. You could see here that LeBron, he had 5 rebounds. Benedict Mathurin, he had 2 rebounds. Andrew Wiggins had 3 rebounds. RJ Barrett had 7 rebounds. But the problem is these guys are not playing very similar basketball to Deni Avdija. One, Deni Avdija is playing on a team that has nothing to play for right now. So he's basically just showing like, yo, I'm good enough to be the number one guy. Like, y'all should be building around me next season. So he's playing the minutes, like 30 plus 38 minutes, 40 minutes, 33 minutes. So he's playing the minutes. He's getting the volume, not only from a shooting perspective, but you don't grab 15 rebounds if you're not trying. Like that, you can fall 5 rebounds in your hand in an NBA game. You can fall 6 rebounds in your hand. But 15, 9, 10, that's making a very conscious effort to go grab the rebound. The Bulls do play at a bit of a faster pace of play, so that also should mean more possessions as well. And then against Chicago, you can see back on the 19th, he had 12 rebounds against them. Last season, 12 rebounds. And then even 2 years ago, 20 rebounds against them. Not the same team, but again, the way that the Bulls have been playing recently, Kobe White's really running the show offensively. The fast, shifty guard, he shoots it in transition, should lead to more leak outs and then obviously more rebounds for Deni Avdija. I have the little ladder there because I've laddered this one. What I mean by that is, hold on, let me see if I can pull this up here. Let's see. I thought I had it screenshotted, but I don't. But basically with the ladder, I laddered it up here from... Oh, so I took the 9.5 line, which we're about to lock in right now live. So let's do that one real quickly so you guys can see what we're going to pay here. So rebounds, we're going to take that 8.5 line, minus 125. We're willing to lay that. So let's lay that here. We're going to lay a little bit of juice today. Some days we have to do that. The juice only matters if you lose, but we've been doing a lot of plus 100s. So we're going to lay that. And then also what we would do is go to the alt rebounds here. And then I would do 10 rebounds. And then I did like 50 on 10. And then I did 20 on 11. I did 10 on 12, 10 on 13. I went up to 14. So that's what I did. So I laddered this one. And I think he can grab 14, 15 rebounds again. So I would manage your bankroll accordingly. So put like 3/4 of your bankroll on the actual play and then the last quarter of the bankroll on the ladder to give yourself a shot here. And I really like that for our first best bet of the day. So for our second pick, let's go to the MLB card real quick. We're not going to ladder it up on the channel just for unit perspective sake, but you guys got me. Let's go look at the baseball slate. Interesting games on. A lot of games all day, so it should be a good money-making day. But I think there are going to be a lot of trap spots, so be a little bit of aware. I think it could be an underdog day. I do see a lot of spots where the dog could, like we have a big favorite here on the road for the Yankees who's playing their first road game. Giants, even at home, are big favorites considering the fact that Luis Castillo's on the mound for the Mariners. So just be wary of that today. And one of the matchups I'm going to take a look at is going to be a pitching matchup. And we're going to go to the last game of the day between the Guardians and the Angels. And I think this is a game that the Guardians could win at minus 115. If you told us in the last several years that you can get the Guardians against the Angels for minus 115, you would probably be jumping at that chance, right? I mean, come on, think about it. The Guardians have been a playoff team the last several years, while the Angels have never really been competitive, and Mike Trout can never stay healthy. But the Guardians this season are not the same Guardians teams as we've seen in years past. They lost some pieces in the offseason. We see Josh Naylor is over there with the D-backs now, their big power slugger guy, their first baseman. Obviously, they still got guys like Ramirez and Kwan, but it's taken a little bit of time for them to get things together. So for me, I think the play that I'm going to take a look at here is not just the Guardians on the money line, but we have two pitching matchups between Jose Soriano and Gavin Williams, and both of their starts have not been bad to start the season. If we go look at both of them real quickly, let's take a look at Jose Soriano. And then Gavin Williams real quickly. So this is Gavin Williams. You can see he had one start under his belt, 3.6 ERA. That game was against Kansas City. The game ended 4-3. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. That's not too shabby. Jose Siriano, for his side, he went against the Chicago White Sox, 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts. I mean, in a 1-0 game to kind of keep your composure, that's pretty impressive. I get it's the White Sox, so again, we have to take that with a grain of salt. So what's the play that I'm going to be looking at here today is we're going to be locking in the Guardians and Angels first 5 under 4.5 here. Now, I want to get that 4.5 number. Your book is probably going to have it at 4, so make sure you shop around 4.5. If we go to DraftKings real quickly, let's see what we can get it on at DraftKings. My goal is to lay minus 135 is really what I'd want to get it at. If you want to lay the minus 4, I'm not opposed to it. But again, my number here, and again, it's the last game of the night as well, so that should allow us to get us a little bit of tuck-in money, and then maybe you want to wait to see how the line moves throughout the day. But I think that this line should move towards the under, in my personal opinion. And then if we go to, let's see here. Just wanted to see. I should already have this sub. I guess it doesn't give me the first. Oh, view more. Okay. So I'd have to see if they have the first 5 lines on here. But it will just lock in 4 for the sake of the channel because I don't want to lay this minus 4.5, 145 here. But if you get minus 4 or under 4 at minus 110, should run you 4.5 at 3.5 at minus 135. So I actually am going to just lock that in manually because that's what I got on Bovada earlier. So we'll just do that. And then we'll do for 1 unit here. So I mentioned the 2 pitchers and how they've done in their first starts, but also let's just look real quickly at the offenses. If we're looking here, the first 5 innings per game, let's actually just first, before we do that, go to the runs per game. So let's just look how both of these offenses have been doing in total runs per game. You can see here, Cleveland's 22nd out of 30 teams. Only 3 runs per game. Los Angeles Angels are a little bit better. They're 14th, so middle of the pack, 4 runs per game. But if we now narrow down our selection here, because now we're isolating it to the first 5 rather than just the entire game, we can see here that the numbers actually drop. Cleveland is 20th at 1.67, but the Angels actually dropped from 14th all the way down to 26th at 1.17. So what does that tell us? That their offense gets going a little bit later on in the game, which probably means that they've been taking advantage of a bullpen. So for me, I want to just isolate this game to the starting pitchers. Both have looked good. Both offenses have looked a little bit slow to start the season. First 5 under 4.5 in the baseball card. I think this game could be a little bit, or this card could be a little bit tricky, so tread a little bit lightly. But I do think that you could get a little bit of value on some nerfies and things like that. But again, I would tread a little bit lightly on this baseball card. So 2 plays down, last best bet to go, guys. And I got a little bit fun with this one on a Friday. We've been doing pretty well on the channel. So let's go over here to the women's Final 4. We've got Texas against South Carolina. We've got UConn against UCLA. 2 very good games. And I think this one could go literally either way in either game. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go with a teaser. We took one of these a few weeks ago. It missed, but it was our first time trying it, and I want to try it again. So we're going to go with a 6-point teaser that's going to get us to plus 125 odds. And what we're going to do is we're going to take Texas from 5.5, and we're going to bump it up to 11.5. We're going to take UConn from 7.5 down to 1.5. And then we're going to go over here to the NBA, and then we're going to add the Los Angeles Clippers in the late night against the Dallas Mavericks and then take them down from 10.5 to about 4. So if we go in a 6-point teaser here, that's going to get you to plus. Your book should allow you to do at like plus 125. Now make sure you guys don't do a sweetheart teaser because again, if it does push, you won't get paid out. So if it is a sweetheart teaser, do not do that so that way you can get paid out. So this is really the analysis on this. First and foremost, let's go to the NBA real quick. Mavericks and Clippers. The Mavericks need to win this game. The Clippers need to win this game. The Mavericks do too, but the Clippers need it more. Why? Let's look at the standings. Western Conference, Clippers right now, the 8th seed. They are in the play-in spot, but look at the difference between the 5 seed and the 8 seed. Literally, even up to the 3 seed between the Nuggets and the Clippers is all separated by 2 to 3 games. So we literally saw Ja hit that game winner last night, and it bumped the Grizzlies past the line. So for the Clippers tonight against the Dallas Mavericks team, that also needs to win because they're right here, but they're a little bit further out the picture. The Clippers team is really good. They should be able to win a few games. And keep in mind, the Warriors do have a tough game against the Nuggets tonight. So one of these teams are going to not self-sabotage, but sabotage the other one. So that should knock one of these teams down. So a very good chance to win a game against a team that's also in a playoff positioning seeding, but also at home, move up. That's why I like them today. Covering the 10.5 number, I don't know. It's a lot of points. The Mavericks did play, I believe, last night as well. So for me, I like the Clippers. That's why we're taking them. Now to the final 4 for the women here. Let's go here. No. All right, we've got these 4 teams. You can see just based off of the record, this is what we're going to be getting in college basketball on the men's side now. We've been seeing it in the women's bracket for years, which is basically the final 4 is typically 4 of the best 6 teams in the country. You may get one other team that sneaked in there or something, but you're typically getting the 4 best teams in the country. And sometimes, people are not... It's not fun from a March Madness and a bracket perspective, but you probably get the best games. So when we get this Texas and South Carolina game here, the reason why I really want to just bump up Texas to the points in this one is for several reasons. Obviously, we know everything about South Carolina if you're tapped into the women's college game, that they are the power program right now. UConn was obviously dominant for 20 years, but they probably fallen off the pedestal. South Carolina is the team now. They've won 3 of the last 4 national championships. So they're the team to beat in a way. Texas is obviously trying to beat them. They finished as co-champions inside of the SEC in the regular season. 15-1, 15-1. You can see that right here. So something has to give in this game. But the problem is South Carolina has been playing with their food throughout the tournament. After their blowout win against Texas Tech here, 108-48, you can see that they beat Indiana only 64-53. And I say only because in the college game, these are 25, 30-point spreads, 15-point spreads. So they're supposed to beat this team pretty handily. Next, they played a Maryland team that was coming off of a double overtime win, by the way, and was only able to beat them by 4 points. And it took it literally the last minute or so. I bet on South Carolina on the money line in that game. And again, they were 10-point, 11-point favorites. Now we move down to Duke, 4-point favorite. They win this game only by 4 points. Again, big 7, 8, 9-point favorites. There was a chance where this girl from Duke had a chance to tie the game, actually win the game, because they were down by 2 and she shot a tough 3. She missed it, airballed it, led to free throws. That's how South Carolina wins the game. So South Carolina has been on the brink the entire tournament. And sometimes that means something has to give, or it gives a team confidence. And Texas, you're give me 11 points because 5.5 plus the 6. I think they can keep the game close. And then also we have a revenge spot, because if we look at what Texas has done thus far in the tournament, they beat Illinois 65-48, Tennessee 67-59, and then TCU 58-47. They cover the spread in this game as well. And now if we go down to the last game of the season for them, they lost to South Carolina in the SEC championship game 64-45. Got smacked in the game. Game wasn't even close. So you don't think Texas wants to at least try to show that they can compete in this game? I'm not saying that they're going to win the game. I'm not going that far, but I'm saying I will take the 11 points on a 6-point teaser here, not only with the revenge spot, but also because of how susceptible South Carolina has looked all throughout the tournament, and I like them to take Texas's best shot here. 11 points, that's what we're going with. Now for the second game, UConn is really just going to be, can UCLA stop Paige Beckers? Now UCLA's had a great season for them. Real quickly, we can just look. Finished 16-2. Now, obviously, USC with the loss of Juju, that hurt them. That would probably be USC's spot here. Paige versus Juju was going to be the matchup that people want to see. But UCLA, they get their opportunity. They get a shot. But I think this is UConn's year. If you look at Paige Becker's numbers, nobody is playing basketball like her on the face of the planet, men or women. Her numbers, her splits are stupid. 31 points on 50, 81, and 50. 40 points on 59, 66, and 75. 34 on 66, 160. This was a game where she only played a few few limited minutes, 11 points. She didn't play too much. But even if we go back to the Big East Championship game, 24 points on 50 and 60. So Paige Beckers, it's her show. She's been the most dominant player thus far in the tournament, and I think they win this game off of experience and coaching alone. Gino Auriemma, he doesn't need any other introduction. Just take it down from 7.5 down to 1.5. That's the explanation. That's the teaser. That's what we're locking in for today. So for today, guys, 3 best bets on the card for today real quickly. We're going to go with a 3-point teaser. Texas plus 11.5. UConn minus 1.5. Clippers down to -4. That should get you to about plus 125 on your book. We're also going to rock with Deni Avdija over 8.5 rebounds, and I've laddered that up all the way to about 14 or 15. And then finally, we're going to go Guardians and Angels in the last game of the night. First 5 under 4.5. And that is a little bit juiced at minus 135, but juice only matters if we lose. That's what we're locking in on today's card, guys. All plays will be tracked on Noble Living on Action if you guys want to get a few extra plays. And then also on my TikTok is where I've been doing the Nobu Nerfy. We lost yesterday, but we're going to run it back today. I think there are a few games today. A lot of low total, 7.5s or so. So be careful on a few of those games, but I do think there's some inning opportunities, some Nerfy opportunities as well for you guys to make some quick little cash money. Like the game yesterday between the Reds and the Brewers, 1-0. That's an easy game you could have walked down, play a few unders in the innings, and made a few dollars. All right, guys? So let's have a day. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. As always, if we sweep the board, I'm going to get somebody paid. So make sure you comment on the video below. And again, subscribe. Appreciate all the love and support. As always, dictate your fate. Get to that cheddar. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. All right? Let's go, gang. Let's have a day.